So it can be really difficult when you're going through fertility treatment, and two people don't necessarily cope in the same way. And it may be that you and your partner cope differently with going through treatment and you use different coping mechanisms. But it's really important to try and get through it together and look at ways that you can rekindle the romance you had, look at the couple you were before and what you had in common and what you love about each other so that you can cope together when going through treatment. So some of the things that are good to think about: writing down things that you love about each other. So maybe pick 10 things and then swap so that you can see what each other think and how you feel about each other and what it is you love about each other. Swap them over and enjoy reading them, and it just reminds you why you're together and that you're not all about creating a baby. You're a couple in love and this is what you love about each other. Maybe write down your favorite feature about them, what attracted you to them in the first place, how they make you feel special and how they've made you feel whilst going through treatment. So how they've supported you. Think about the different things that they've done there. So that it's just putting the focus back on the two of you and what you love about each other. Secondly, it's really important to not place blame. So whoever the issue is with medically, you see it as a joint issue, because otherwise they'll start to build resentment between one another. And to be able to cope going through it, it's much better to see it as a joint problem rather than seeing it as an individual problem and somebody's fault, because then you'll get resentment and you'll get guilt on one side or the other as well. Set designated no baby or no IVF talk time. So maybe take time out together, but agree that you're not going to talk about treatment so that it doesn't become the sole focus of your relationship, that you have things outside of your relation, outside of trying, that are a common interest, and you're talking about something different to just the focus on getting pregnant. And alongside that, planning quality time together. So think about some of the things that you used to love doing together before you started trying, before you started going through treatment. You've maybe stopped doing, planning some of those things together, planning some time where it's just the two of you and you enjoy each other's company, again with no talk of treatment. Or if you want to set time aside to talk about treatment where you're focused, then you can do that, but agree that that's a set time. Accept that you may cope differently to one another. Men and women cope very differently. Women cope very differently to one another. Everybody's individual, and look for your own ways of coping so that you have somebody outside of your partner to offload onto, to talk to, so that the pressure isn't on just both of you to support each other. You have other people outside of that, and accept that maybe your partner copes differently to you, maybe isn't as emotional, maybe doesn't show it as much, but it doesn't mean that they're not as upset about you not being able to conceive and about having to go through treatment. So talk about how you're feeling so that you both understand that. Keep talking to one another so that that understanding is there, that you are both feeling the same and you're not starting to worry that one is more bothered than the other. And then don't just have baby making sex as well. So I know the doctors will probably talk about this, but don't make it so all the focus is just on that. Make it so that you're there together as a couple. And just remember, you were a couple in love before you started trying. So remember what it is you love about each other. It's not just about creating that baby.